Daniel Craig, once an unfamiliar name in the film industry, has risen to become a global icon, amassing an extraordinary fortune and securing his place among Hollywood's elite. His story is more than a pursuit of fame, it's a stunning transformation. Fueled by an unshakable passion for the stage, Craig took up acting at just 6 years old. Yet for over 2 decades, he remained stuck in obscure roles and forgettable films, barely making a mark in the industry. Then, fate intervened. Landing the role of James Bond didn't just propel him to stardom, it made him one of the highest-paid actors in the world. Once a barely noticeable figure on screen, Craig now commands hundreds of millions, owns lavish mansions, and possesses a fortune beyond most people's imagination. But what was the price of reaching such heights? Join us as we uncover Daniel Craig's career journey and the hidden struggles behind his success. The astonishing rise from obscurity to the ultimate James Bond. Daniel Craig, born Daniel Rotten. Craig, on March 2, 1968, in Chester, Cheshire, England, embarked on an arduous path before becoming the face of James Bond. His journey was anything but easy. Behind the blockbuster successes of Casino Royale 2006, Quantum of Solace 2008, Skyfall 2012, and Spectre 2015, films that grossed hundreds of millions, lies a story of unwavering perseverance. Long before he became one of the world's most celebrated British actors, few knew that Craig once spent nights in parks, roamed theater halls in search of opportunities, and worked as a waiter just to survive. Craig's upbringing played a crucial role in shaping his artistic aspirations. His mother, Carol Olivia, worked as an art teacher, while his father, Timothy John Rotten Craig, had a background in the Merchant Navy before managing 2 pubs in Cheshire. After his parents' divorce, Craig and his sister, Leah, moved to Liverpool with their mother, a turning point in his life. It was there that she introduced him to the Everyman Theatre, sparking his first real exposure to professional acting. Though he had performed in school plays since the age of 6, this experience deepened his passion for the craft. By the age of 16, his growing love for acting led him to the National Youth Theatre. Committed to his dream, he left school and moved to London, balancing restaurant jobs to support himself while refining his skills. His dedication paid off when he was accepted into the esteemed Guildhall School of Music and Drama, graduating in 1991. Craig's journey into professional acting began in 1992 with The Power of One. At the age of 24, his talent quickly gained recognition on stage, with standout performances in productions like Tony Kushner's Angels in America at the Royal National Theatre in 1993. However, his career-defining moment arrived in 1996 with the BBC drama Our Friends in the North, where he starred alongside Christopher Eccleston, Gina McKee, and Mark Strong. By the late 1990s, Craig's career was gaining traction through a variety of roles, including the TV film Saint X, 1996, the indie drama Love and Rage, 1998, the historical biopic Elizabeth, 1998, the television drama Shockers, The Visitor, 1999, and the independent war film The Trench, 1999. As the new millennium unfolded, Craig continued to display his versatility across multiple genres. He delivered a compelling performance as a man with schizophrenia in Some Voices, 2000, explored dark humor in Hotel Splendide, 2000, and reached mainstream audiences in the commercially successful yet critically dismissed Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, 2001. His reputation further solidified with Road to Perdition, 2002, where he starred alongside Tom Hanks and Paul Newman, followed by standout performances in Sylvia, 2003, Layer Cake, 2004, and Archangel, 2005. These roles demonstrated his remarkable range, paving the way for his eventual rise as one of cinema's most iconic spies. In addition to his film career, Craig displayed his stage prowess in Caryl Churchill's play, A Number, performed at the Royal Court Theatre from September to November 2002. However, the world only came to truly recognize Daniel Craig through the lens of James Bond. Craig's journey to becoming James Bond began in 2005, when Eon Productions approached him for the role. Initially hesitant and met with skepticism from fans for his unconventional appearance as Bond, Craig ultimately accepted the role. The decision sparked widespread controversy, but he received strong support from former Bond actors such as Pierce Brosnan, Timothy Dalton, Sean Connery, and Roger Moore. Craig made his debut as James Bond in Casino Royale, the 21st installment of the franchise, which premiered in November 2006. The film not only silenced critics of the casting decision, but also became a massive success, grossing over $500 million worldwide and becoming the highest-grossing Bond film at the time. Craig's performance garnered critical acclaim, and he went on to star in 4 more Bond films: Quantum of Solace, 2008, Skyfall, 2012, Spectre, 2015, and No Time to Die, 2020. The final film marked his last appearance as the legendary spy, solidifying his legacy as one of the greatest James Bonds in cinematic history, a staggering fortune from an iconic role. Daniel Craig's first 4 Bond films amassed an astounding $3.5 billion at the global box office, and his paycheck reflected their massive success. He earned $3.2 million for Casino Royale, $7.2 million for Quantum of Solace, a base salary of $17 million plus a $3 million bonus for Skyfall, and $30 million for Spectre. For No Time to Die, Craig's base salary was an impressive $25 million. In total, his Bond earnings amount to at least $85.4 million. Since stepping into the shoes of James Bond, Craig's earnings have soared. In 2021, Variety named him the highest-paid actor in Hollywood. His enormous salary didn't come solely from the Bond franchise. His role in the Knives Out series also propelled him to the top of the industry's highest earners that year. According to Celebrity Net Worth, Daniel Craig's estimated net worth stands at $160 million. Beyond his career, Craig's personal life is just as intriguing. He has a 32-year-old daughter from his first marriage and a 6-year-old daughter with actress Rachel Weisz. His real estate portfolio includes a $4 million apartment in London's exclusive Primrose Hill, as well as properties in Tribeca, New York City, and Sunninghill, Berkshire, England. His car collection is equally impressive, featuring luxury models such as the Range Rover, Lotus Evora, Audi R8, and Aston Martin DBS, vehicles that perfectly align with the sophisticated style of his Bond persona. Despite his wealth, Craig once stunned fans by declaring that he wouldn't leave the bulk of his fortune to his children. In an interview, he called inherited wealth distasteful, saying, "I heard a saying that if you die rich, you failed." He elaborated, "Many billionaires have pledged to donate all or part of their wealth to charity. Personally, I don't believe in passing down large fortunes. I think inherited wealth, when unearned, isn't beneficial. My goal is to give away my fortune before I go." Craig's commitment to philanthropy is undeniable. Over the years, he has actively supported numerous charitable organizations, donating both his time and substantial financial contributions to various causes. Notably, he reportedly contributed $10,000 to aid 3 fathers who embarked on a 300-mile walk to raise funds for a charity. Beyond his public persona, Craig enjoys simple pleasures like reading and unwinding at pubs, which help him maintain balance despite his fame. He deeply values the unique experiences his career affords him and expresses gratitude daily. His passions extend beyond acting to sports, where he is a devoted fan of Liverpool FC and rugby. In 2013, he traveled to Australia to witness the British and Irish Lions tournament firsthand. Outside of sports, Craig's preferences remain straightforward. His go-to drink is beer, and he holds a deep appreciation for the His Dark Materials book series, which he considers his literary favorite. When it comes to personal style, Craig gravitates toward the James Bond 007 fragrance, embodying the suave image he has cultivated on screen. His music taste is shaped by his love for Radiohead, while his admiration for film is reflected in his appreciation for director Robert Altman's work. Among the many actors who have portrayed James Bond, Sean Connery stands as his favorite, highlighting Craig's respect for the franchise's classic legacy. Daniel Craig's struggles with fame. In 2006, when audiences were familiar with the suave and refined James Bond portrayed by Sean Connery and Pierce Brosnan, Daniel Craig stepped in and introduced a grittier, more rugged 007. The British actor completely redefined the character, making his portrayal distinct and unforgettable. Landing the role of James Bond is a dream for many actors, yet Craig initially had serious doubts. "I didn't want to do it," he admitted. Unlike Pierce Brosnan and Roger Moore, who seemed to embody the role effortlessly, Craig felt unprepared, having primarily starred in unconventional period dramas. However, the franchise's producers saw his potential and convinced him he was the right choice, ultimately changing his mind. With his undeniable charisma and remarkable acting talent, it's clear why Craig became the definitive Bond for over 15 years. Off-screen, his reserved nature and preference for privacy only add to his mystique. Despite being an A-list celebrity, he remains dedicated to keeping his personal life out of the public eye. After concluding his Bond era with No Time to Die in 2021, Craig reflected on his journey in the documentary Being James Bond. He opened up about the toll of sudden fame. "I've had times when I locked myself in a room and drew the curtains. It physically and mentally affected me. I didn't like the immense fame that came with playing James Bond." He credited Hugh Jackman for helping him navigate the pressures of celebrity life, learning to embrace the attention rather than fear it. Craig soared to international fame after stepping into the role of 007 in Casino Royale 2005, following Pierce Brosnan's widely praised tenure. At first, Craig hesitated to accept the part, unsure how he could bring a fresh perspective to the character. "I thought I had a decent acting career, but I didn't believe I had the presence to be James Bond," he admitted. He feared, like Brosnan and Moore, that he'd be permanently tied to the role, making it harder to take on diverse characters. Before Casino Royale, Craig was primarily recognized for indie films and doubted his potential as a mainstream star. However, after reading the script, he was so captivated by the story that he ultimately decided to accept the role. Once officially cast, Craig marked the occasion with a 3-day drinking spree. Portraying such a legendary figure took a toll, both physically and mentally. Craig followed a punishing fitness regimen to ensure peak performance, constantly pushing his body to the brink. He executed more stunts than any previous Bond actor, even shattering 2 front teeth in a fight scene for Casino Royale. During the filming of Spectre, he broke his leg yet refused to halt production. These grueling demands once led Craig to declare that he'd rather break his wrists than reprise the role of James Bond. Yet he ultimately returned for more installments, cementing his status as the longest-serving Bond while delivering the franchise's highest-grossing films. After wrapping up No Time to Die, Craig reflected on his journey with pride. "Looking back at these films, I feel incredibly honored to have been part of them. Saying farewell to Bond wasn't easy, but the time had come to move forward." Off-screen, Craig presents himself as a deeply emotional individual, a stark contrast to Bond's icy demeanor. "In reality, I don't want to play any role. I'll admit, I'm a sensitive person. Sometimes, even a heartfelt commercial can bring me to tears," he confessed. 5 women who captured the heart of the charming Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig, often hailed as Hollywood's ladies' man, has been romantically linked to several striking women over the years. Before stepping into the legendary role of James Bond, Craig shared the screen with Angelina Jolie in the 2001 action blockbuster Lara Croft, Tomb Raider. Jolie once called Craig one of the best kissers in the industry. When asked about her compliment, Craig humbly responded that he was honored before playfully adding, "She's not bad herself." For a man who has played Agent 007, Craig's on-screen romances have been the envy of many, but off-screen, his love life has been just as captivating as that of the suave spy he portrays. Craig's first serious relationship was with former model Marina Pepper. The two met when Craig was just 18 and embarking on his acting journey, reminiscing about their time together in an interview from her home in Lewes, East Sussex. Marina shared, "In some ways, I was like a little mother to Craig. He was happy to have someone take care of him. I was slightly older and already had my own place. Once we started dating, Craig moved in with me. In 1992, Craig fell for Scottish actress Fiona Loudon, and the two welcomed a daughter, Ella. That same year, they married, but their relationship ended in divorce by 1994. Looking back on their split, Craig admitted, "I was too young but trying to act like an adult. I don't regret it, but I wish I had done things differently." After parting ways with Loudon, Craig was in a long-term relationship with German actress Heike Makatsch, lasting 7 years. Following their breakup, he was rumored to be involved with high-profile women like Kate Moss and Sienna Miller. By 2007, Craig became engaged to director Satsuki Mitchell, who was instrumental in supporting his rise to stardom, including securing his James Bond role. However, even their engagement eventually came to an end. After a series of failed relationships, Daniel Craig finally found the one in 2011. While filming Dreamhouse in Canada, Craig reconnected with Rachel Weisz, a former colleague from the 1994 London play Les Grandes Horizontales. At the time, Weisz was married to Black Swan director Darren Aronofsky. Following her divorce and Craig's split from fiancée Satsuki Mitchell, the two started dating. Just 6 months later, they tied the knot in an intimate New York City ceremony attended by only 2 friends and their children, Ella, Craig's daughter, with Fiona Loudon, and Henry, Weisz's son, with Aronofsky. Nicknamed a wild stallion for his charm and charisma, Craig has long intrigued fans who often wonder about the woman who won his heart. Born in 1970, Rachel Weisz is an Oscar-winning actress, frequently ranked among the world's most beautiful and desirable women. She has even been described as the woman everyone wants to marry. Despite their A-list fame, Daniel Craig and Rachel Weisz are known for fiercely guarding their privacy. They rarely attend public events together and are seldom seen by paparazzi. In late 2018, Rachel welcomed their first child together, a daughter, at the age of 48. Weisz is one of Britain's most acclaimed actresses, celebrated for roles in hit films such as The Mummy, Enemy at the Gates, 2001, About a Boy, 2002, Constantine, 2005, The Fountain, 2006, and The Lovely Bones, 2009. Over the years, she has earned prestigious awards, including an Oscar, a Golden Globe, a Screen Actors Guild Award, a Laurence Olivier Award, and a BAFTA. Though she was a highly visible public figure before their marriage, Weisz has since embraced a quieter life, prioritizing family over the spotlight. Regarded as one of Hollywood's most private couples, Craig and Weisz keep their personal lives out of the media. However, they have openly expressed deep admiration for each other's craft. As Weisz once put it, "We respect each other. We value each other's work." Their relationship seems to be built on a foundation of warmth and mutual support. Reports suggest that the couple cherishes simple moments together, whether it's sharing thoughts on literature and poetry or preparing meals. Insiders reveal that Craig, who has openly expressed his commitment to hands-on parenting, prioritizes spending quality time raising their daughter rather than relying on nannies. Craig's skills go far beyond acting. He has a deep passion for cooking, a talent he attributes to his mother, who once told him, "If you want to eat, you better know how to cook." Interestingly, before rising to fame in the entertainment world, Craig even worked as a chef. A new chapter after retirement. Daniel Craig has officially stepped away from his legendary role as James Bond. While the next phase of his career is still unfolding, one thing is certain: the 54-year-old actor isn't slowing down. He remains active and fully engaged in new ventures. Recently, Craig was spotted in Paris, turning heads with his bold and rugged style. Filming for an advertisement on Friday, he strutted through the streets in an eye-catching, commanding fashion that left a lasting impression. This fresh look is a noticeable departure from Craig's usual understated style and the polished elegance of James Bond, the role that made him a global icon. In his everyday life, Craig prefers to dress casually, often blending seamlessly into the crowd. Beyond fashion, he has also challenged traditional ideas of masculinity. Last year, he revealed that he frequently visits gay bars and clubs. Craig shared his reasoning, explaining that these spaces provide an escape from the aggressive energy and confrontational atmosphere often found in traditional bars. "I've been going to gay bars for years because I got tired of the fights and toxic bravado in straight bars. I just couldn't deal with it anymore," he said. He went on to elaborate, Nobody has to announce their sexual orientation when they walk into a gay bar. These places are open and accepting, even for those outside the LGBTQ+ community. They're typically safer, and people are generally friendlier and more respectful. I've noticed women frequenting gay bars as well. It makes sense. They want a night out without being constantly approached or harassed. I imagine they feel the same way I do. They're seeking a relaxed, comfortable environment where they can enjoy themselves without pressure. It doesn't need an explanation. Everyone just gets it. Another fascinating aspect of Craig's career is his refusal to conform to Hollywood beauty standards. Despite pressure from directors, he has always declined to dye his hair. Instead, I suggested cutting it very short for a more intense, rugged look, he said. This decision cemented Craig's legacy as the first and only blonde Bond. As he aged, Craig stood firm in his belief that 007 should embrace the passage of time naturally. He insisted on keeping his silver hair, proving that the legendary spy didn't need artificial enhancements to remain iconic. Now, let's dive into the next incredible figures we're about to uncover. These individuals aren't just wealthy, they possess mind-blowing fortunes beyond imagination. Curious to find out who they are? Click on the next video, and I'll reveal secrets that have never been exposed before. You won't want to miss these shocking and fascinating revelations. And finally, all the information in this video has been sourced from credible references and is intended for informational purposes only. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to keep the conversation going.